Welcome to the session 8 of module 4, in which I am giving a lecture on the equalization as well as drain beds, such drain beds. Equalization. Equalization means before we go for treating a wastewater, that too in a secondary treatment plant and all these things, we go for equalizing the wastewater or industrial wastewater. Since when we are study the behavior or characteristics of the industrial wastewater as well as in some of the case in municipal wastewater also. In industry, what happened? The waste are generated from the different sources and also it is having a different characteristics. Different characteristics. If it is having a different characteristics, then it is very difficult to treat the each and individual separately. For that, what they go for, they are go for equalizing the all the type of the waste which are generated in that particular industry and allow it that particular waste generated in a tank. It is called as equalization tank for a duration of at least 2 to 3 hours, depending upon the total cycle of the industry. In municipal industry also, municipal wastewater also, the characteristics of the wastewater which is generated from the different region, different parts of the city is somewhat varying and also it is varies from day to time. In the morning, there may be a chances of much more detergent which may be available in that particular one in that particular municipal wastewater because of the usage of the soaps and detergent and all these things. In afternoon, there may be due to the usage of the food and all these things, the detergent may be less. In evening, there may be a variation in some of the constituents, and also the discharge of the wastewater coming from the municipal industrial wastewater or municipal wastewater is not uniform for 24 hours. Not uniform for the 24 hours. It goes on varying from time to time, hour to hour, minute to minute, second to second also. Similarly, in the industries also, total quantity of waste generated it is not uniform throughout the its process, manufacturing process, treating process, and all this. For all this reason, so what we go for, we are equalizing the flow or characteristics of the wastewater generated from the municipal or industries and all these things. Then if you are equalizing the characteristics as well as discharge and all these things, then it is easy for treating a such a type of wastewater. Suppose the discharge in the morning in the municipality, municipal wastewater is more and discharge in the afternoon is less. In the evening, once again, it is goes on varying. After midnight, after night 10 o'clock, it is almost zero. So the discharge goes on varying as well as concentration of the different parameters also goes on varying. So for that, what we go for, we are equalizing the characteristics of the each and every session or each and every hour and then mix together properly. By that, it is possible to treat the waste very effectively. Very effectively. In some of the case, what happened, some of the industries are generating or waste of effluent come out from the industry is acidic in nature. Some of the industries wastewater is coming come out from that particular industry is base in nature. Then it is very difficult to treat acid waste as well as base waste individually. In such a case, what they go for, they mix it together. They mix it together and make neutral. Then it is make it neutral. Then it is easy for the treatment. When we go for design of any treatment unit, we design for a particular ranges of values of pH and all this, and our pH also goes on varying. So neutralize the pH, and then the treatment of such a type of wastewater is easier. For that, before we go for treating a wastewater or industrial wastewater, it is better to go for equalization tank. In that, we equalize all the characteristics, flow, and all these things. Whether it may be chemical characteristics or the biological characteristics may be equalized, and then only it is treated. Equalization is a method of retaining waste in a basin so that the effluent discharge is fairly uniform in its characteristics. That is, whether it may be pH, color, turbidity, alkalinity, BOD, and all these things. A secondary but significant effect is that of lowering the concentration of effluent contamination. Means in some of the portions of in some of the industries, means the waste come out from the different part of the manufacturing process having different characteristics. In some of the part, the characteristic of the wastewater is having a high strength of BOD, COD, and color and all these things. In some of the waste come out from the different units is having a less color as well as BOD is less and all these things. Then it is very difficult to design for such a type of industry. For that, what they go for, they are mix the different concentrations of the wastewater come out from the different sources it in an equalization tank and equalize the characteristics, and then it is easier for treating such a type of effluent. A retention period, a retention pond serves to level out the effect of the peak loadings on the plant while substantially lowering the BOD and suspended solid load to the aeration unit. Means we are equalizing the flow, then it is easier for treating such a type of wastewater. Air is sometimes injected into these basins to provide better mixing, chemical oxidation of reduction, reducing components, some degree of biological oxidation, and agitation to prevent suspended solids from the settling. So better mixing. If the concentration is having a different wastewater is having a different concentration, then it is very difficult to treat. Instead of that, we are mixing thoroughly. Then all the characteristics which are present in that particular mixed thoroughly. By that, it is easy to treat that particular such a type of wastewater very effectively as well as efficiently. Chemical oxidation of the reduced component means if the chemical oxidation will takes place due to aeration and all these things, due to aeration and all these things. In the equalization tank, we are applying the or we are introducing the air by mechanical agitation and all these things. Then it is possible to oxidize the some of the chemical which are present in that particular one. By that it reduces the burden on the next unit. Some degree of biological oxidation. Biological oxidation is definitely if it is wastewater, it contains microbes and all these things. Once microbes are come in contact with the wastewater, it start to degrade. Okay, then if the availability of oxygen is less, then degradation is less. Rate of degradation is less. Instead of that, if you are adding some amount of oxygen by aeration, in which we are mixing is done as well as improve the DO concentration, then the degradation will increase. The degree of the treatment for the next unit may be decrease. Agitation to prevent suspended solids from settling. So it is one of the important things. By equalization tank, we are avoiding the settlement of the solids. So if your solids are settled, then the rate of degradation may be affected. By that, what we go for, we are introducing continuously or intermediate air supply or aeration is done. By that, the deposition or settlement of the solids will be reduced. By that, the treatment of the such a type of wastewater is done very effectively. The size and shape of the basins vary with the quality of the wastewater and the pattern of its discharge from the industry. It goes on varies from industry to industry. And also, it is very difficult to treat the industrial wastewater in a common effluent treatment plant because each and industry is having its own characteristics. By that, it is very difficult to go for common treatment plant. Anyhow, it is possible to equalize the characteristics within the industry itself. The capacity should be adequate to hold and render homogeneous, means make it as homogeneous solution. All the waste from the plant. So all the waste, make it a mix properly. By that, make the wastewater as an homogeneous one. Then it is easy for treatment. Almost all the industrial plants operate on a cycle basis. Means one cycle means it may takes 2 hours, 3 hours, depending upon the process what they are adapted for the manufacturing of the products and all these things. Thus, if the cycle operation is repeated for every 2 hours, an equalization tank which can hold 2 hours flow will usually be sufficient. Means if you go for manufacturing process, depending upon the type of the industry, depending upon the mode of equipments they are adopted, depending upon the procedure they are adopted, it may take 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it may be. So when you go for design of equalization tank, we design the size of the tank such a way that it is having a capacity to hold all the waste which are generated within a one cycle. The mere holding of waste, however, is not sufficient to equalizing it. Each unit volume of waste discharge must be adequately mixed with other unit volumes of waste charged many hours previously. Means not only equalization is not sufficient, you mix it properly and maintain a effluent such a way that it should be treated very effectively. This mixing may be brought about in the following ways. The mixing is one of the important things we are done in the equalization tank to equalize the characteristics of the waste come out from the municipal industry, municipal wastewater as well as different industry. The proper distribution and buffering means we distribute all the characteristics within the particular equalizer tank by different method. Proper distribution and buffering means we put a obstruction for the flow. Once we put a obstruction for the flow, automatically velocity reduces. Velocity reduces, the mixing will be takes place effectively. Is most economical, though usually least efficient method of mixing. It is not require any extra energy, anything. Just you put a obstruction for the flow, by that the mixing will be takes place. Still, this method is sufficient for many plants, depending upon the characteristics, flow, size, and all these things. Horizontal distribution of the waste is achieved by using either several inlet pipes spaced at regular intervals across the width of the tank. Means if the length of the tank is, as we assume, 10 meter, then we are introducing a several inlet pipes for every 1 meter distance. Then the first pipe, the waste characteristic is different. Second pipe characteristic is different. Third pipe, the source coming from third one. And like that, they are introducing into that particular tank. By that, make it mix properly. Mechanical agitation. Mechanical agitation eliminates most of the needs of the baffles and generally provides better mixing than the baffle alone. Means if you go for mechanical agitator, we are using usually introducing the rotors connected to the motors. So we can mix that particular wastewater depending upon the requirement by adjusting the speed and size and all these things, rotations and all these things. This type of equipment is good not only for the equalization but also for dilution, oxidation, reduction, or any other function. Means when you go for rotor, by that it is possible to go for increasing the pre-oxygenation capacity of that particular tank or by supplying the required quantity of oxygen. By that oxidation or reduction maybe takes place. And also dilution may be dilution may be occurs very quickly. Aeration. Aeration of equalization basin is the most efficient way to mix types of waste. Means aeration means just it is done for mixing as well as supply the oxygen for the wastewater. But it is also the most expensive. Means once again when you go for aeration, there are different types of aeration. We may go for rotors or may go for introducing the aerator from the bottom or at the intermediate side by mechanical aerator and all these things. It is somewhat costly when compared to the waffles and all these things. Aeration facilitates mixing and equalization of waste, prevents or decrease accumulation of settled materials in the tank, and provides preliminary chemical oxidation of reduced component such as sulfur component. Means when the mixing is done properly, then the product, the wastewater come out from the mixing equalizer tank is very effective one for the removal of the BOD, suspended solids, and all these things in the next coming units. So once you are discussing or you are aware of what is equalization tank, what is the importance, and all these things. Next, we pass on to the sludge drying beds. Sludge drying beds means definitely the sludge which is generated or it is produced by primary settling tank or secondary treatment plant and all these things. It contains organics, inorganics, and settleable solids, and also it is highly producible and it is so still organic matter is present in the particular. Then such a type of sludge is not possible to dispose of very quickly, or it is not possible to dispose of for dilution or on-land treatment or landfilling and all these things. So before we are disposing that particular sludge, and also it is very difficult to handle and all these things. For that, what we go for, we are removing the moisture content which is present in the sludge. Moisture content which is present in this sludge. So sludge drying bed is one of the technique which is commonly used to remove the moisture content present in the sludge. This one is a old technique we are adapted to remove the moisture content, and also it requires some land for the dewatering of the sludge. Dewatering of the sludge. And in this case, what happened here, usually it is constructed by using the coarse aggregate as well as fine aggregate combination of both, and in the rectangular structure. Usually it is constructed such a way that the sludge drying beds is 40 to 50 centimeter above the ground level, and at the bottom there is a drainage pipes are provided of spacing 5 to 7 centimeter center to center, and also above that there is a coarse aggregate or gravel aggregate is placed of size usually at the bottom. The size of the fine aggregate is more, and at the top of the coarse aggregate the size is less. Above that we are placing a sand, a fine sand. It is free from the silt, sand, and silt, and grit, and all these things of thickness in 10 to 15 minutes. Thickness of the coarse aggregate is from 30 to 35 centimeter. 30 to 35 centimeter. And once it is constructed, just it is acting as a filter beds. This flood drying beds is acting as a filter beds. So, and sand, top of the sand, we are they are spreading the sludge and exposed to the atmosphere, and exposed to the atmosphere. Once the sludge is this spread over the beds, automatically the water content which is present in that particular one start to percolate through the sand and passes through the gravel or fine aggregates, and finally it is drained out through the drain pipes and reach the next treatment unit. At the same time, it is occurs due to the gravitational force only. They are not introducing any extra force and all these things. Extra force and all these things. So once the water is drained out, usually if once you place the sludge over the sludge drying beds within 2 to 10 to 14 days, almost the 10 to 20% of the water is drained out from that particular one. And also once it is exposed to the atmosphere, some amount of moisture is also evaporation will be takes place. Some amount of oxygen is evaporation. Oxygen is evaporated. Some amount of the water is evaporated and reach the atmosphere, and also once due to the reduction in the moisture content, the cracks are formed in the sludge. That's due to the shrinkage and all these things. Due to the shrinkage and all these things. Once its cracks are formed, once again the bottom sludge is exposed to the atmosphere. By that, the dewatering will be takes place. Dewatering will be takes place. Dewatering will be takes place. By that, there's some amount of water is evaporated due to the sunlight and all these things. After that, after so many days, it is in the place, it is stay at the top in the form of cakes, in the form of cakes, sludge cakes, which is having 20 to 30% of moisture content only. The remaining moisture content is drained out through the sludge drain beds, and then that particular cakes are collected or removed from the drying beds, and they are disposed to the any landfilling site or incineration and all these things depending upon the characteristics of the sludge which is present in the particular one. This is the techniques which is adopted for the sludge drying beds. When you go for design criteria, some of the things are you are taken into consideration. Usually dimension is width is 6 to 8 meter and length is 6 to 30 meter of the drying beds. And outer boundary is earthen, or it may be stone masonry or brick masonry. The gravel is used is having a size of 3 to 6 in size in some of the fine aggregates, and otherwise it may be up to 10 in terms of fine coarse aggregate. The sand effective size of the sand is zero point 0.5 to 0.75 and uniform coefficient of the sand is very important. It is should not be more than 4. Depth of the sand is usually 200 to 500 and also under drains are placed such a way that dia is usually 10 centimeter. Spacing between them is 5 to 7 centimeter per center to center. This flood drain area, overall area is usually 0.14 to 0.28 meter square per capita. Meter square per capita. The flood loading rate is usually it is depending upon the size of that particular one. Depending upon the size of that particular one. And drying period is usually 10 to 15 days. Drying period is usually 10 to 15 days. At the end, moisture content of the cakes is around 50 to 60%. Around 50 to 60%. The digestive sludge contains a lot of moisture content which should be eliminated before disposing it. Definitely before disposing, it is better to dewatering that particular. Otherwise, it is very difficult to handle and it is very difficult to lift that particular one. And also due to the presence of organic matters, it may produce the odor and all these things. It is usually achieved using sludge drying beds. The methods consist of applying the sludge on specially prepared open beds on land. It is acting as a filter medium. It consists of open beds of land 45 to 60 centimeter deep, 30 to 40 centimeter thick gravel layer of gravel or crushed stone in size varying from 15 centimeter at the bottom to the 1.25 centimeter at the top. Means the grain size the grows on decreasing from bottom to the top to increase the filtration capacity and remove the solids which are present in that particular one. The 10 to 25 centimeter thick coarse sand layer over the graded gravel. It is acting as a dual filter media. Dual filter media. Open joint under drains pipes of 15 centimeter dia 5 to 7 meter center to center lay below the gravel layer at the slope of 1 is to 100. 15 to 30 centimeter in plan and are surrounded by brick walls rising about 1 meter above the sand surface. Top of the bed can be covered with the glass to protect it from the rains. New sludge is placed spread over when the previous one has been removed. Once one set of sludge is removed, then only they are placing the new sludge. The sludge is spread on the top of the bed and part of moisture gets drained through the bed and some gets evaporated in the atmosphere. So when some of the quantity is infiltrated, other also drain out, and some of the water content or moisture content is evaporated due to the sunlight and all these things. It takes 2 weeks to 2 months, depending upon the moisture content and on all these things, for complete drain. Usually, sludge will be removed after 7 to 10 days, as within this period, about 30% of moisture gets away. Some of the MCQs related to the sludge drying beds and all these things are as follows. The design hydraulic loading rate of the gravity thickener is 20 meter cube per meter square per day. Which of the following process is not involved in sludge thickening? It is vacuum filter. 7% of solids concentration of thickened sludge is obtained from gravity thickener. What is the type of the sludge? It is secondary sludge. Which of the following is not used for drying of sludge? It is dual effect evaporation. In which of the following method this sludge is rotated for dewatering process? It is centrifugation. The dewatering sludge cannot be disposed of by acid fermentation. What is the solid loading rate in kg per meter square day? Consider while designing thickener to treat the sludge from an air activated sludge process. It is around 20 to 40. Which of the following is not a drying bed? It is filter press. Which of the following is not a part of dewatering process? It is air floating. Which of the following process is not used for water reduction? It is heating. Sand drying bed is used for filtration. Yes, true. How many products are obtained after dewatering? It is two products are obtained. The liquid has high contents of phosphorus and nitrogen if the sludge has been anaerobically digested. Anaerobically digested. So thank you. By studying the model 4, from that the students are able to design various biological treatment units which are related to the municipal industrial wastewater treatment engineering. From the model 4, students are able to design any type of the biological treatment which are required for the municipal wastewater depending upon the discharge characteristic and requirement, the concentration of the municipal wastewater, and all these things. Thank you.